goddammit, inside the GTO. So today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys the history of my GTO. I have a 2005 Pontiac GTO. It is LSA. It is the same supercharger that comes off the CTSV, the Cadillac, and or the Camaro ZL1. I make just over 700 horses at the crank. I'm about 600, about 620 to the wheel. When I first got the car, it was cammed only, complete exhaust. What else? It had the can-in, air filter. It was tuned. I bought it from like 3 hours away from me, somewhere in like Wisconsin. I call one of my buddies. I tell my buddies, hey, look what I got. You know, he see I got a GTO. Showing off, I actually broke my driver's side axle. And this is my first stick car. So first car, that's a stick, but I think I've been doing really well. I haven't burned my clutch up. When I first got the car though, it had a LS7 clutch. Right now it's a McLeod. So I decided, you know, I want to start putting some more money into the car. Once I had the car for a little bit, I decided, you know, I want to start putting more money in the car. I want to make the car faster, you know. So I talked to my stepdad and I told him I want to put a one-piece drive shaft. Just started thinking about what did I want to do. Do I want to pro-charge it, supercharge it, or turbo it? I don't too much care for nitrous, not on a stick car, because I believe if you got nitrous, and depends on how much nitrous, I believe both hands should be on the steering wheel while while the nitrous is kicking in, or however you got it set up. I mean, that's just my preference. I prefer to be holding on for dear life. So the guy I took my car to in Joliet, he couldn't do the drive shaft. He didn't know what was going on. Like, he'd never seen it, whatever. So I called Speed Inc. out in Schaumburg. I spoke with Tony. Tony, really good guy, man. He broke everything down. He was very honest. I took it there. They charged me the same price to do the drive shaft. So I had already contacted Rashawn at GTO at Boost District. That's another guy you guys might want to kind of talk to and ask questions, because he know his stuff. But I ordered through Boost District and I got the upgraded heat exchanger. I got the 1050X injectors. So I just started piecing everything together. So once I got the supercharger, I dropped the supercharger off to them. It took me a while to actually get all the parts. Boost District did a great job at sending me my parts. So my car hits the dyno. I'm excited. You know, they sending me pictures. You know, my car was on a dyno. So I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see what my car makes. And I get a text from Tony, and he tell me, hey, you know, we need to talk. I'm like, oh my God. And I was anxious, frantic, or whatever you want to call it. I couldn't wait. So I called him, and he told me that it wasn't my fault, because I had no problems with my GTO at all. You know, there was nothing that I did wrong. It was actually on their behalf. So when the car hit boost, it sucked the bolt into the motor and popped the piston. And the piston is just completely destroyed. So he said, man, we have a motor here, you know, it's a short block, still 6.0. It's been bored 20 over. It has forged pistons and everything. So I'm like, okay. He like, so you'll get a stronger motor, but I have to talk to the boss, which is Tom. Tom, another great guy. These guys really took care of me, like hands down. They really took care of me. I think for the work that I got done to my car, I cannot complain. Like, this car has been completely rebuilt. Like I say, the only stock thing you're gonna hear is the transmission. I do have the McLeod clutch, and also I need to probably redo the rear end, but I do have the axles. But I mean, it ain't like I'm gonna be launching the car from a dig or racing it really anyway. You know, I do a few pulls, you know, here and there, but I completely baby the car. So speaking to those guys, they actually gave me the motor. I had to pay an extra $700 for just the pistons. So they redid the car, you know. The motor, I mean, they did a fantastic job. They worked with me with putting in my gauges and everything, all the way to my RAAR proxies, the tire. They just did a really, really good job, and they stayed in contact with me throughout the way, even though I was sometimes kind of impatient, because it's like, man, I'm spending all this money. I really want my car to hurry up and be done, and I want to see how I feel. And when Tony called me and told me, he said, hey, I didn't reach the your goal at the 700 wheel horsepower. He said, but I really think you're going to be excited and happy with what we did to your car. And I'm like, okay, maybe this sounds like another salesman, blah, 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 blah. So I get there and I drive it, and it's like, oh my God, like, oh my God. So I have my car. I got my car back July 22nd, the day after my birthday of 2020. And I drive it a little bit. Like I say, nervous, it's really fast, never had a car this fast before, so I'm taking my time, I'm driving it. And then I get on the expressway one day and I start hearing this sound. And I know inside the LSA, the isolator, the supercharge, the isolator, whatever you want to call it, it messes up and it makes a sound. So I'm thinking that's what it was. So I called Tony. Tony say, get the car back here. We're going to take a look at it. Get the car back there. They find out what it is. My rod bearings was ripped to shreds. Like, the first thing they thought was, it was starving for fuel. So they went over, seeing was it starving for fuel. It wasn't at all. Like, it wasn't at all. They said it was probably the way the motor was built. Maybe somebody was, playing Candy Crush or Angry Birds or Call of Duty while they was making the motor. I mean, I don't know. But we got that rectified. They fixed it. They put the motor back together at 100%, brand new motor, basically 0 miles, new crank. Pistons was only put, once I got the car back the first time, the day after my birthday, I only put maybe 70, 80 miles on it. Like, I didn't drive it a lot at all, because this is just my weekend warrior or something like that. I got a daily driver. So once they finished putting the car back together, almost together, I was still having a problem with the factory hood. And it's like, oh man, I need to get a hood. So before, and I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, before I sent the car back the second time, I had changed the hood on the car. I got the Stingray hood off a guy out of Champaign, Illinois, I want to say. I think that was, I forgot, but memory terrible. So I paid like $200 for the hood. If you guys want to put an aftermarket hood on the car, don't get me wrong, the 2005, 2006 hoods for the GTO are really nice. Like, I really like them, and I was actually thinking about putting my hood back on. But in order for you to use the factory hood, if you're going to do the LSA supercharge, you have to change your motor mounts, and you also would probably have to redo your heads. Not redo them, but I got LSA heads. So when they did the LSA heads, it lowered my compression, of course, because when you order from Boost District, they give you an adapter that's about this thick. Like, it's really thick. And it also makes the supercharger sits up higher. So not only do you have the factory motor mounts that make the motor sit up higher, then you have the heads that sits up higher, then you have this 1-inch thick adapter that also makes the car sits up higher. The motor sits up higher. So you're not going to fit the supercharge, the LSA supercharge, especially not the ZL1. The ZL1 is what I really wanted, to put on here, but you're not going to be able to fit it on here because, it just sits up too high. So once I actually got the hood and everything, I had them to put some LSA heads on there. So I got the LSA heads, and don't get me wrong, like, I can tell the difference because it's my car. My car, when I started up and I did do my cold starts or whatever, it was more raspy with my regular heads, the LS2 heads, and now that the LSA heads, basically LSA, LS3 is kind of the same head. So what it did was it lowered my supercharger, so I can basically, now I'm sure I can get my factory hood on, but it also lowered my compression. So it lowered my compression, but I also can have more boost now. Right now I'm at about 10.5 pounds of boost, and I'm not even really, I think my duty cycle for my injectors is really low. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like at a 60, 62, and that's pretty low. So I'm barely scratching the surface of this car, but I know that more horsepower equals more problems. And I want my horsepower, I want my car to be more dependable than anything. Like, I'm not in the business of, you know, racing or anything like that. Now, I know it's some cars that I could beat, you know, Hellcat or whatever. But anyway, we ain't gonna get into that. But when you working on a car, just be mindful, like I said before, when you put money, I mean, this is putting money into cars. I mean, I know it's your hobby and stuff like that, but damn, it can get really, really expensive. So back to what I was saying. So once they did the LSA heads, I thought I was gonna get more horsepower, but it was more of a flush. Like, I didn't get more horsepower. It actually went down a little bit in torque. Like, I was at I think I was at like 640 something in torque, 640 something in torque. Now I'm at like 627, 626, something like that. And with the, like I said, and with the compression, like, I can just tell how my car sound. It sounds more relaxed, but it's still fast. Like, I can't tell the difference power wise. It was just more raspy with the LS2 heads. So now that I got it back, I got my car back December 17th, I want to say, and haven't had a problem since. So like I said, shout out to Speed Inc., Tony, Tom, the rest of those guys who did a really great job with my GTO. They really don't look at this video and don't think of this video as me like telling people like, hey, you know, Speed Inc. did a messed up job or whatever. Like I told Tony, you know, stuff happens, unfortunately. I was kind of irritated a little bit, you know, that my car was messed up, but on a brighter side, you know, I didn't have to pay to, you know, get it fixed for my motor blowing up. I just had to pay for another high performance part. Another thing also changed when I was about to get it back was the springs. I got the 660 springs in here. It's a lot of little stuff that I kind of went on ahead and did since they had the motor apart, and you know, they gave me a good price on it, and they really took care of me. The next thing, I think I told you, I want to get my headliner done, like this sagging and stuff. I'm gonna get that done. I want to get my car painted. I would say wrapped, but no, I'm gonna get it painted back the same color probably. But yeah, this just a video of telling you the history of my car. I was going to take my car back this year, but they so, you know, booked up with you know, other cars and stuff that they my appointment was going to be, you know, months and months and months, you know, down the line. So I just said, what the hell, I'm going to wait. So I'm going to do the lower pulley to see if I can get some more boost, see if I can definitely reach my goal at 700 wheel horsepower. Right now the car is running good. I'm gonna do some pulls in it. You know, I'm gonna put it up for the year. I'm gonna try to do a couple of drives in it, whatever, before the snow hit and before all this, you know, all this dead leaves and stuff that makes you, you know, spin or whatever. When it comes to the GTO, man, me and the GTO been through a lot. But like I said, please do not look at this video as Speed Inc. did a terrible job. They did a great job. You know, they took care of me. You know, they could have easily said, hey, your motor blew. We didn't think that it was going to hold up anyway. They could have said anything, but they were so honest. Hey, it's our fault. It's completely our fault. We're going to fix it for you. So if you guys in the, you know, Northwest Indiana, Chicago land area, please check out Speed Inc. in Schaumburg, Illinois. They did a really good job. But this is gonna conclude that video. I'm sure I'm probably missing some of the stuff. or whatever. I try to hit you guys with every modification that I've done to this car. I can't think of anything else I'm missing right now, but I am going to change. I'm put some more gauges up in here too, because I think gauges look pretty cool. But I am going to change actually this gauge. I told you guys about this gauge because it, you know, it be messing up. But that's going to conclude this video. I really appreciate you guys liking, watching my video. I finally hit over 100 subscribers, so I'm pretty, you know, happy about that. And if you guys got any questions, I know it's a lot of people who's new to GTO, some people who's had a GTO longer than me. You guys got any questions, man, hit me up. We all gonna go through these trials and tribulations with, you know, these cars, and we gonna try to our best to keep these cars on the road, because trust me, they, even now, me having a GTO, like I saw a GTO yesterday, it was red, and I was like, oh wow. And it doesn't matter to some of you guys be like, oh, it's a 04, oh, it's a GTO is a GTO to me. I mean, when I see it, I still get excited as if it was a 2004, 5, or 6. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, come on, LS1, LS2, that's 50 more horses. And that person with that 2004 with the 50 less horses probably got more work than some of the guys with the 2005, 2006. So a GTO is a GTO. I mean, you never know what they got. I mean, turbos are quiet if you really listen. I mean, my car is loud. So most loud cars, people be like, oh man, that car's fast. But don't let those, you know, those quiet cars fool you, because those are called sleepers. And I really pay attention to those. Not that I be running up on them trying to, you know, but just be mindful of that. I appreciate you all support and stuff like that. Hopefully I get more subscribers and stuff like that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. This is going to conclude this video. Have a good day.